There are those who dream and those who turn their dreams into reality. That's what the Hettema Group is doing all around the world, designing unique and unforgettable experiences. Nothing is out of reach. And the bigger the fantasy, the more their team is encouraged to pull it off. Like their latest creation, which debuted this year, a glittering crystal lobby show at Galaxy Macau in China. I got to take a look at some of their projects where the sky isn't even the limit. From a high-rolling Ferris wheel in Las Vegas to a dream water park in New Jersey to sparkling chandeliers at a new resort in China. If you imagine it, the Hettema Group will build it.
What we really consider ourselves as storytellers first and foremost, and we make stories in 3 dimensions here. We call it stories you can touch.
Phil Hettema followed his own dreams and created the Storytelling Studio after leaving attraction development at Universal Studios. I would guess that the word no here is off limits.
It certainly is at the beginning of a project. We have a rule in our brainstorming that's no bad ideas, because we really want to stretch the envelope in everything we do.
The spaces need to be functional, not just part of a set. Projects can take 5 years or more from development to standing tall, like the One World Observatory in New York City. It took just over 2 years.
The observatory in New York at the World Trade Center was a really complicated project because it didn't want to focus on 9/11, but there wasn't a soul that was going to go to that project that wasn't painfully aware of where they were. So kind of trying to take that and build on that idea, but then ultimately talk about we can now stand on this site and look forward to a brighter future was a pretty complicated challenge.
So we're about to get on the elevator, which will take us 100 stories in about 45 seconds?
Yes, 1,200 feet in about 45 seconds, depending on the wind.
Jody Robertis started on the project well before ground was ever broken.
This is a time-lapse history from the 1100s to today. Everything from the Native American settlements to the growing Industrial Revolution to a metropolis filled with skyscrapers.
So the minute you get here, you're immersed in the story.
Welcome to One World Observatory.
And we're here already.
Winds of Change was at the center of the project when they started conceptualizing a design back in 2013 that includes the See Forever Theater.
It's almost like you're bringing the city to life.
The idea is to engulf the guests in the heartbeat and the rhythms of the life of New York.
And panoramic views of Manhattan.
Well, that's a wow.
The first time we were in here with real guests, there were standing ovations, and that happened quite a bit. It was a remarkable feeling to experience that with them for the first time.
Every detail was considered, and visitors from all over the world take it in every single day.
What do you think you'll take away today?
Wow, just the breathtaking views and, just this whole story behind, New York.
What did you think in the theater when they rose the screens?
We were lost for words. Literally, I looked at her and I said, "Why am I crying?" She says, "Me too."
Hettema has projects all over the globe, in the world's largest indoor theme park in South Korea, to North America's largest indoor water park, an interactive exhibit in the famed World War II Museum in New Orleans, and smaller creations like a pop-up at Union Station in Los Angeles.
What's the budget in a lot of these?
Projects can go up to hundreds of millions of dollars. Some of these are big projects. But if the story's right, it excites us creatively, then a few $1,000s can put something pretty magical together.
This year marks Hettema's 20th anniversary, and their goal remains the same.
What's the end game?
Just to keep on telling stories. All of us as human beings understand life as stories. Every part of our daily life, we create a story out of it. So turning experiences into stories, we're lucky to be able to do that.
That and catching the eye and letting their projects open up an opportunity for others to dream big.
We're first and foremost in the experience business. And I think today particularly, people are so hungry to connect with each other, whether it's a fantastic dinner or that moment on a roller coaster when you were screaming for your life. And we experience those because of the people who are around us, and it makes that connection with the people around us that much more special and memorable. And that's really our business.
And that's really what it is about for them, is bringing people together. But they think about every single little detail. So even at One World Trade, the flooring, they had to think about what sounds would be on the floor, if somebody wore high heels or, whatever, how would that change the experience for people? So when they go in, they think about everything.
And that's the key, I think, is that it's not just the one ride or one thing, it's the whole experience, right?
I'm curious how this story idea came to evolve. I mean, did you see something and say, ooh, I wonder how that worked?
I have to say, the producer, Marianne, on this one, I think she dreamed it, she conceived it, and it turned out great. I mean, I think the diversity of projects, when she sent me this idea and we started looking at it, and you think about something small to something large, I mean, they do it all. So it's, there's a little bit of something for everybody.
I love it. The dream makers.
Credit to Marianne.
Yep.
Good job.
Marianne King, you go, girl.